You know, in the 5 years I have had this YouTube channel, one of the series that I am most proud of, that I enjoy the most, has been my eShop Hidden Gems videos. And I'm so happy to be able to actually say Hidden Gems without any kind of feeling of being a liar, because I think today all of the games featured are ones that may have flown under the radar. What's going on, everybody? I'm Jay. Welcome to Square Pegs. Glad to have you here. Excited to be talking about the Nintendo Switch eShop again. It's gonna be 10 great games. We're kicking things off with one that is a classic fighting game from the Neo Geo era. Let's take a look. I do so love discovering fighting games that I was not familiar with. This is the updated version of Rage of the Dragons. This is called Rage of the Dragons Neo, and it's awesome. So I had never played the original Rage of the Dragons, so I'm going into this game completely and utterly blind, and I am absolutely blown away by not only the mechanics behind the title, but just the overall fun factor and the incredible updates to the original game that I am just loving. You have 16 different characters you're able to choose from, which gives you over 80 character combinations, as it is a tag team fighter. This is a 2D fighter, so it's going to be more like classic Street Fighter or classic King of Fighters. You're able to hot swap between your characters as you play. When one is KO'd, you continue the fight as your second character in a new round, and you're able to keep fighting the remaining characters on your opponent's side. The gameplay is fast and varied and really enjoyable. The character designs are unique and really well done, and there's a bunch of different modes in the game as well. There's a versus mode, training, dragon challenge, which actually gives you like challenges to complete in the game. Hey, hence the name, right? Ranked and casual matches, lobbies for online for up to 8 players. It's excellent. I absolutely really love this game. It has been a lot of fun to play, and I really dig the fact that Qbyte has released this into the world. This is $19.99, and if you're looking for a fun fighting game, Rage of the Dragons Neo needs to be on your list. I was intrigued by Void Rot because it reminded me so much of Dead Cells. And if you have played Dead Cells, you're going to be fine with Void Rot because you're going to understand kind of the inherent design of the title and what it's trying to do. It's a 2D Metroidvania, just kind of like Dead Cells is. It's just not a roguelike. But where Void Rot sets itself apart from Dead Cells is the fact that it's not afraid to do its own thing. It has incredible controls, first off, right off the bat. It isn't something where it's going to be irreverent like Dead Cells can be. It's definitely a darker and more serious title. There's a lot to explore. The levels are massive as you go through, and there's a ton of lore to pull up and just kind of dig into elbow deep and learn more about this world. And hey, as you play, why not form a little bit of a cult? Get some followers, do your own thing. It's a really quality title and something that I'm just really kind of scratching the surface of, but the amount of time I've played on it so far, I've really enjoyed. This is a $19.99 game normally, but right now through January 2nd, 2025, it's $14.99. And if you're looking for something to kind of scratch that Metroidvania itch, Void Rot should be checked out. I had the publisher reach out about Maki Paw of Fury and ask me if I was interested in a review code, and I gotta be honest with you, at first I wasn't really intrigued. I was just like, oh, it's a game about a fox, okay. But then I looked at the trailer and I looked at what was offered here, and I realized this was one of the most adorable beat-em-ups I had ever seen, and I had to give it a shot to see how it was. And folks, I am telling you right now, this game is fantastic. Don't let the cute look fool you. Do not let it lead you into a false sense of security, because this game can be brutally difficult at times with some absolutely challenging combat where you are just getting swarmed by enemy after enemy after enemy. The boss fights are big and hard and fun. There's amazing sound in the game as well. Like, everything works in this game, but everything comes back, I believe personally, to the look of the title, because this feels like an 80s anime come to life as a 90s beat-em-up arcade game. I just love it. It is a really remarkable title. I'm having so much fun with it. You can play as Maki or his friend Tincho the Capybara. It's a really solid game. This is $10.99 normally, but through the 2nd of January 2025 here in the States, it is on sale for $7.98. The second half of the Retro Realms arcade franchise is Retro Realms Halloween. Now, I featured Retro Realms Ash vs. the Evil Dead last month, and I wanted to circle back around if I happened to see the Halloween game go on sale, and I saw that happen earlier this month, and I immediately picked it up because I was very intrigued to see how different it was from the Ash vs. the Evil Dead game. And while it's very similar in its core design, the differences are notable because the locomotion of the game is completely different. Ash vs. Evil Dead is a lot more frantic, a lot more fast-paced. The one starring Michael Myers, this one, Halloween, is a lot more methodical, which, you know, you'd kind of expect from a slasher villain, right? Like, he's not just going to be running around killing everybody, he's going to stalk you and track you down. It's a really interesting game. The plot is kind of the other half of what's happening in Ash vs. the Evil Dead, so it kind of fills in the gaps there. I do like the fact that if you have both games, you can play as Ash in the Halloween game or Michael Myers in the Evil Dead game. It's a really, really interesting title. It's a lot of fun, and if you like horror movies, this one needs to be on your list. I'm really digging this series, and I hope this leads to more games from the Retro Realms universe down the road. This is a $24.99 game, absolutely fantastic, and the compatibility and the fact that you have crossover between Evil Dead and Halloween is just excellent. Now, I'm not a fan of the League of Legends universe at all, but the League of Legends Stories games that released on the Switch have been an absolute revelation and made me care a little bit about the universe that Riot Games set up, which says a lot because I don't really care for Riot's work. But these games are fantastic. Now, folks that have been on the channel for a while will recognize the gameplay inherent here because it is identical to that which was in Battle Chasers Nightmare, one of my favorite RPGs on the console. And it was developed by the same company, Airship Syndicate. It just utilizes the League of Legends universe and kind of those assets and art styles inherent to the League of Legends universe to make something very unique and very different. There's a lot of characters to choose from to build your party on. I think there's 8 characters total in the game that you can choose from, a massive world to explore, and one of the most creative combat scenarios I've ever seen with the lane system. You can have a standard lane, a power lane, or a speed lane, which is going to impact damage dealt, but it is also going to offer you an opportunity to interrupt characters or abilities being used by your enemies, which I think is really, really clever. This is a fantastic game, and if you are looking for a really interesting turn-based RPG, Ruined King: A League of Legends Story needs to be something you check out. This is a $29.99 game, and I have had a ton of fun with it. Never let it be said that I am not one to suggest games for a younger audience. Now, in my house, we are a Dave Pilkey family. We love Dave Pilkey books. We have been a fan of them since Victor was younger, and Dogman was one of our absolute favorites. So when I got the opportunity to review Dogman Mission Impossible, I jumped at the opportunity. I want to thank them for providing the review code for this because I'm just such a huge fan of this book series. And it's such a valuable tool to get kids to read, to get kids into just understanding that reading is awesome. And to have that kind of expand out into a video game is really cool. So I am already a sucker for superheroes. I love superheroes. So to get the Dogman characters as the Super Buddies, where you can play as Dogman, Little Petey, or ADHD, and they have their different code names and stuff like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, sorry. I think Dogman is the Bark Knight and Little Petey is Cat Kid, but I could be wrong. The game is great, though. It is a wonderful introductory platformer for kids to kind of get used to what platforming can be. There's some puzzles in here that kids are going to have to solve, so it's not just going to be a point A to point B. There's some different challenging jumps that you're going to have to complete. It's a really fantastic game. I'm just tickled that this even exists because to get kids literature as a video game really shows just what kind of a bridge can happen between novels as an art form and video games as an art form. I just love it. It is a $39.99 game, so it is a bit of an investment, but understand this. If your kids love Dave Pilkey or love Dogman himself, they're going to eat this game up. They're going to love every second of it. I love a good arcade racing game, and I love ones that really do something a little bit different, and that's what we get here with Victory Heat Rally, published by Platonic Friends. I want to thank Platonic Friends for the review code for this game. I was very excited about this when I saw it announced. I was very excited to try it out, and it does not disappoint at all. Victory Heat Rally is an arcade racing game. You basically hit the gas and go. You are going to use your brake every once in a while, but for the most part, you want to drift because drifting is how you get your boost meter set up. You're able to select from a series of different characters. There's a bunch of them to unlock, and as you play, you're going to be able to upgrade your car, change the different settings so the car handles differently or accelerates differently, and basically just do everything you would expect in a racing game, just with a crazy coat of paint with some incredibly creative track designs and track layouts. It is so much fun. It is super fast, it is incredibly enjoyable, and it is one of those classic racing games that I just am immediately drawn to and love every second of. This is normally a $24.99 game, but right now and through the 2nd of January 2025 here in the States, it's on sale for $19.99. Having infrequently played the original Snow Bros on the NES, I didn't really have a huge frame of reference going into Snow Bros Wonderland here on the Switch. I just knew that it was an idea where you had to roll up enemies with snowballs and kind of eliminate the other enemies with said snowballs. But I didn't expect this game to be a 3D top-down game. I expected it to be 2D like the classic one is. And instead what we got is this really intriguing kind of blend between 3D platforming and 3D puzzling with a Snow Bros coat of paint on it. And I'll be damned if it doesn't work. This is such a fun title. It's all physics-based, so you need to kind of roll up enemies in a snowball, and then you have to aim them to make sure that you're bouncing off of walls and taking out as many enemies as possible. It's all geometry. It's really interesting. And it's just brilliantly designed. It's a really nice way to play a game where you don't feel like you have to dedicate hours upon hours upon hours to it. You can pick it up and play one world, and you're done. You can play for 10 minutes, you can play for 3 hours. Either way, you're going to have a good time. It's a classic experience, and it feels like a classic arcade game just reimagined, and really, that's what it is. It's a wonderful title. Clear River Games did an excellent job on this one. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and thank you to them for the review code on it. This is a $29.99 title, and if you're looking for a new spin on a classic franchise, this one needs to be on your list. Eagle-eyed viewers will recognize this angry, enraged red man or green woman on screen right now from the fantastic Anton Ball that I covered on the channel a few years ago. This is the follow-up game in that series called Anton Blast, which is just incredible. This is one of the most kinetic video games I have ever played. It is all about movement, all about locomotion, all about just destruction and blowing stuff up. It is wonderful. This is such a fantastic, just cathartic experience where you are just wrecking shop all over the place. And it's great because you're doing it to beat up the devil himself. That's right, Satan is the one you're going after because he stole all your booze. And it is time to get that booze back. And you are on your way through each level to just destroy as much as possible, find as many secrets and poker chips as you're able to, and get to the end before happy hour ends. It is wonderful. It is frantic, it is fast, it is crazy, it is incredibly enjoyable, and it is just such a wonderful, wonderful experience. Now, I will tell you, this is rated T, but some of the language in the game is pretty hard, so be aware of that if you are buying this for a kid. Understand there is some harsh language in here, but this game is $19.99, and I have an absolute blast playing it. I'll admit that naming a Mighty Morphin Power Rangers game as a hidden gem might be stretching the terminology a little bit, but based on the fact that when I mentioned this game in my Switch licensed game video a couple of weeks ago, a lot of people were shocked that it even existed, I'm counting it. And as someone who is not a huge Mighty Morphin Power Rangers fan, for me to suggest a Power Rangers game as something that you should play and you should buy, understand that it is not nostalgia tugging at my heartstrings here. It is quality gameplay. Atari made something magical here. And I gotta thank them for the review code because I reached out hoping to be able to review this, and I'm so happy that they were allowing me to do that. Digital Eclipse did the gameplay on this one, and they absolutely crushed it. You get to play as any of the 5 Rangers. The beat-em-up stages are fantastic. You go through, you fight classic enemies from the Power Rangers series, and then you actually get levels where you pilot the Zords as well. There is so much to like about this game, and this is such a love letter to the series of Power Rangers that I just can't help but appreciate it and I can't help but enjoy it. I'm a sucker for a licensed game anyway, but when a licensed game is done to just be excellent, it's a really wonderful experience. This is up there with Shredder's Revenge as far as I'm concerned, as far as quality beat-em-ups go. This is a $34.99 title, and if you love the Power Rangers, this needs to be on your list. 10 eShop hidden gems, maybe a little bit loose on some of the terminology here as far as hidden gems go, but I do think that some of these might have been overlooked. Some of these might have gone under the radar. Some are games you may have not been aware of. Let me know in the comments down below what game looks best to you, what game are you most excited about, what game caught your attention that you want to check out this year. If you're new here, give a thumbs up down below, really helps the channel out. And if you dig this work, I do one of these a month. I would love to have you stick around, hit subscribe, kick the tires on the channel for a little bit. Until next time, folks, I've been Jay. Appreciate you spending a little bit of time with me. Remember to play more games, stay square, and take care. I'll talk to you soon.